Good evening and welcome. I know it's a bit weird. It's me going solo tonight. Alex decided to take a early holiday, and that's his exact words. He's on holiday today. So for our last show for the season, it's me alone, and I've got some couple of guests waiting for me. But before we get to them, on the show tonight, we look at the weekend results and just look at the season in a whole, and looking at our Wolves game, and then can we do better? Looking ahead to next season and looking at the summer and how our summer needs to look like. And then we look at our predictor game winner. There's no quiz tonight, so you don't have to get your thinking caps on. It's just enjoy the show, join us in the chat, and let us know your thoughts on how well or how bad our season's been. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. And let me welcome our guests. We first have Gavin. Gavin, welcome to the show. Nice seeing you again. How's things going?
Thanks. It's always good to be here.
And then we got Jitin. How are you, Jitin?
How's it, man? You guys well?
Yeah, good. I think, let's just jump into it, eh? And just get over the Wolves game. Look, it meant nothing. It was more like a exhibition. And I mean, oh wait, let me do this because Alex forgets this. I also forget this. Don't forget to check out Ronnie's podcast. It comes out every Friday. Just have a look at our Facebook page. The links to his shows are always there. Nice, informative. All stuff Arsenal. He talks women's Arsenal, the junior guys, under 18s, under 23s. So just check out Ronnie's podcast and the weekend results. Most of them meant nothing. I mean, I'm not going to dwell on this, but yeah, Chelsea is just shit, aren't they? I mean, Chelsea's crap. And and even I think the only result that meant anything was the Everton one. And yeah, my money was always on Everton. I didn't see them going down. So I don't know what your guys thought.
Yeah, actually, I actually won. I was joking around in the pub. I said I preferred Leicester going down because now there's going to be a whole lot of good players on for sale for cheap. Let's get Madison in.
So in my dream world, it was Leicester going down, and I know West Ham. They were there about, but West Ham was my other team, hoping they were going to go down, so we could get Declan Rice and Madison
for cheap.
So we can get Madison now. So cheap.
Why not?
And I'm glad Leeds are gone, because on this show there will be no Leeds talk for the full season and beyond, I hope. But other than that,
I agree. I'm actually quite, mainly because I've got a good friend who's an Everton fan, and he's for 3 years now. He's been waiting for that final game to see whether you're going to get relegated. And that's the thing. Is like you just can't. Them going forward is just like not to be fighting for survival in the last game of the season. They are a big club. They're moving to a big new stadium now. There's lots of things that are going to be happening with this club, and just there's history with Everton. And it's unfortunate that they find themselves in this kind of form, because they just have to do something next year, that's for sure. But what celebrations? I mean, the amount of celebrations you see in the streets of Liverpool, you would, imagine if they do win something. If they're celebrating that much just for staying up, But they've got a good support base, and I'm happy for them.
Top of the table means nothing. Bottom of the table, Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, all goners. Apparently,
Yeah.
Theo Walcott is leaving Southampton. Was his last
yeah.
move for
Who else is?
Do you know? Does anyone know where he's going?
them. No idea. I don't know.
who-
I mean, how old is he?
He's still
What?
30, I think. I don't think he's that old.
So he's not going to be
He's
He's been
dying.
around
been
since the
40.
start. Eh?
Really?
He's been around a long
He's
time.
been around for a while. Eh?
Yeah,
Didn't
so
realize
let's
from the
just
start of
check how old
from the
is he?
start of the Emirates. So
Yep. He's 34. So
maybe Luton.
Theo
Maybe one of
Walcott
these
is
I don't know who will buy him, man.
Yeah.
Maybe the team's coming up. Maybe Luton will make a 1-year deal or something.
America, maybe.
Maybe he's going to
I don't know.
retire, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to
Retired.
retire.
Possibly.
Yep.
There's always a chance of that.
Rather than play championship. I think
Yeah.
he would rather retire than go to the championship, you know?
Can you imagine?
And then Arsenal Wolves.
What a game.
It was a good game.
Why are you
but
sighing? It's 5-0.
So
5-0. Come on.
So I'm saying at the starting lineup. So when I saw the starting lineup, and our only left back we have in the team is on the bench again. I don't know if I was the only one that had an issue with that. So like we've got
I
a
think-
WhatsApp group, and I said I think Tierney is out the door.
Yeah. I think Arteta's. I think he's trying to blatantly copy Man City now, putting
Yeah.
4 central sort of defenders and try and rotate them into midfield. I think that's what I think he's trying to do for next. I think this is pretty much what he's going to do next season. Just try and get if Zinchenko's not available, then put Kiwior there or whoever's left-legged, put him on the left and see what happens. I think he's pretty much going to try and copy what City is doing with a Kanji. Kanji does
Yeah.
that a lot,
Cool.
which is a bit
Other than
sad.
that,
But it was a good showing, right? I mean,
Yep.
it was a good way to end off the season. And for Xhaka, I saw... When last did he get a brace? That Xhaka actually scored
I
2
don't
goals
think
in a
he's
game.
ever scored 2 goals in a
I
game.
mean,
I don't think he's
he-
ever.
He almost got a hat-trick if he could hit that one shot clean.
Yeah. So
I
mean,
know,
who
right?
else
It was
was
nearly a
hoping-
hat trick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else was
On his
hoping for
final
Xhaka
game
hat-trick
of the-
in his final
yeah.
game? That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And
that would've been
look,
nice.
what is your guys' thoughts about him leaving? Would you want him to stay? Do you think it's time he goes to make space for another player? Would you keep him? Should he go?
Yeah. I think he's, it's time now. I think he's proved what what's happened with Xhaka is that, he was enemy number 1 for Arsenal for a long time, being sent off and I mean, I saw some ridiculous stat, like out of the 250 odd games he ever played, 88 of those games he got booked. So some of those, and he didn't get 1 red card this season, which is not bad.
Mm.
But the truth is he's just he's got the balance of experience on the side. But if we bring in the likes of Declan Rice and Cicito and those kind of players in the midfield, is there still space for him? And I think there's a general sentiment around Arsenal that they're wishing him well to go. And I think I think a player gets to a point in their time where people are going past them faster than they want them to. And, I wish Holden would take note of that. But, that's really where we are, So I think it's a case of it is probably time, and we'll be able to bring in a new sort of midfield. But I do worry about. But we still got Jorginho there. We still have. Who's the other?
Nene is still there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about experience now. When it really counts.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
And Partey.
Partey, yeah, that's it.
But I think maybe this was the plan all along, where I think maybe Xhaka knew, okay, these guys are going to get someone big who's obviously a bit more younger, got more legs, and so that's why maybe just swan song, advertise himself a bit more in the market, and then now you got a Bayer Leverkusen contract coming up. So
Who do you guys say that this was Xhaka's best season in an Arsenal shirt.
I think so. I think so because
apprentice is his favorite position rather than what the previous managers were trying to do for him.
Okay.
And just the turnaround that he's shown at the end of last season and to this season to finishing off a hero at Arsenal when there was a time when he was like enemy number one. No one wanted him there because he was a liability. Every time he got the ball or going for a tackle, you're going like, okay. And the referees were also working against him. Let's face it. I mean, even the softest tackle would get a card or a red. Other players were getting away from it. So he had this reputation, but I think that the fact that he's come through it and proved himself, and he's still got an international career, I believe, at Switzerland for a while. I don't know if he'll play in the World Cup.
He's only 29 years old, eh? He's not old.
Yeah,
it's got a good for you.
I think
he never got injured.
Oh, he's 30. Sorry, he's 30. So I mean, he still has 3-4 years.
Never got injured, is that right, Jitin?
Yeah.
Well, he might have had those minor niggles, but he's never been like long term out for like weeks or months or something like how Partey is going through. He's never had that, and he's like literally played every single game. He's played as many games as Xhaka has. So,
and certainly didn't hold back when it came to a tackle. I mean, he was like a bulldozer,
And I read somewhere he was always the first one to, if bad tackle on one of the players, he was always the first one to go and defend. First one there to throw the push or a punch if he had to. So I think he had that passion in him.
So okay, so let's jump. Let's start at the manager, Mikel Arteta, and he says we need to be much better next season. Where do we start? What do we need to be? What do we need to change? And how do we become better?
Well, let's start with that statement is right. I mean, do we have to be much better next season? And it's an emphatic yes for me. I don't know how you guys feel. And it's not because we were shit this season, but let me tell you, everyone's going to up their game.
Yep.
First of all, we've got City performing at another level that there's a gap that we have to get there. But there is going to be a different Man United next season. There is going to be I don't know, a different Villa.
Yep.
Liverpool. Well, do you think so? I don't know, man. Where's it going to come from with Liverpool?
Depends.
If they don't buy properly in the summer, and who knows, Klopp might even be out of the window by the summer. So but then there's Tottenham with Chelsea with Poch. They've got the players, and they just haven't got their. So there's definitely going to be more competition from the other sides. And if we are not better than we are, or as good and not better, we're gonna suffer. And I think that's because everyone's going to improve their game. So this league is just going to get tougher and tougher, and there's no time to sort of sit back and go.
So let's do it this way. So Gavin, I'm going to give you the defense, right? And you tell me where we can be better in defense. Jitin,
yes,
you look at the midfield, and we do the striking, the strikers together. So Gavin, in defense, what do we need? Who do we need? Who needs to go?
Well, I think that we need a replacement for Saliba because of injury. We can't go into the kind of game structure that we're going to have, like what happened this season. The moment that we were deficient in the back with Saliba and Gabriel was never going to find that. Trevor did a fair enough job eventually, but Rob Holding was a liability. I mean, let's face it, as good as his intentions and his passion was, he wasn't going to do what was required. With Tommy Yusuf out, we never had, that sort of replacement either. So we do need to have, I think, two defenders coming in, fighting for that back four position. And even if they don't get in, we know that we can rely on them if somebody's injured. So I would say we need to find two defenders for the summer. And good ones.
Okay.
I don't know who they are.
So there's a rumor out. There's a rumor, or somewhere I saw a post. I think it was on Facebook. I said that it said that Mikel Arteta is looking at moving Ben White back to the center to be the
Yeah,
cover for
Makes
Saliba,
sense.
and Kivio will be the cover for Gabriel, and getting Cancelo to be the
Mm.
new right back.
yes, yeah.
And if he did that one purchase at the back, just the right back, and doing that
Yeah.
change, would that one signing at the back? Because you said we need two players, so would that one
Well,
signing at the back be enough?
because of backup. It's
Yeah.
just about having, because the squad needs to be
Quality
more than
back.
11 people. I mean, you know that, especially because of Champions League this year, and that's what the beauty or the luxury that Pep has, is that he can rotate players. He can bring in players that are just on nowhere near, even below par. They're as good as whoever is on the field.
Yeah.
And if somebody is injured, the replacement is there. So that's the kind of thing, and it's expensive, and it's hard to keep players to say, well, you're going to be on the bench all the time until needed.
Yeah. Do you think City will sell to us again? Because Cancelo is still their player. He's only on loan at Bayern.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll sell? No. Okay.
Not even Gundogan. What about Gundogan? I'd like to see Gundogan. I'd like to see Gundogan come there, but I can't see Pep letting him go. Although it's only a year on this contract. I mean, and he's, it's so weird when you listen to Pep, because he's such a good flippin' mind game player. He's saying the same things about Gunda that he was saying about Zinchenko and Jesus at the end of the last season. He was setting them up, saying he's one of the best players I've ever worked with, and you go, well, why are you letting him go? Well, he's got another plan, so he's very good at doing that.
He's good at contingencies.
So tell us, what is our midfield
in the
need
middle?
to be much better?
Now that Xhaka's going, I think a lot of rumors saying we're going to get both. A lot of people want both Rice and Casado. I don't think we're going to get both. We're going to get one. Either one I'll be happy with. And then you probably need another central midfielder just as like a backup for that, because obviously you can't rely on one second. You can't obviously rely on Lokonga, the guy that's out on loan.
Yeah. We forget about that.
So I think
don't even mention the Congo. I mean, what is?
I think we should just go straight for. I don't know what's the contract situation, that Lavia guy from Southampton. I think Man City got first dibs at him. Not sure. Then again, it's Man City again, and then obviously you can try and go for Gundogan. But I think Kevin and I were chatting a little bit before we went on.
Gundogan is old, eh? Gundogan is 33.
But I think when Pep sold us Zinchenko and Jesus, I think he already had backup for them. He already knew they were past their sort of Man City sell-by date.
Exactly.
And I don't think Gundogan is past Man City sell-by date yet. I think maybe a year, maybe 2 years left, I think, in his legs. But obviously how you play him, because obviously he's not 29, he's not in his 20s, in his 30s now. But I think it would be great if we can get him in. Awesome. Him back up with him and Jorginho in the backup of Rice and Partey. Great. But apparently there's rumors.
What about Madison?
Madison?
What about Madison?
So in my
gone.
So
I think
exactly. He's not going to stay with Leicester. Surely he's going to be up for sale.
No. I think he's Newcastle bound. That's what the rumor.
Okay.
Well, Newcastle can also offer him Champions League, eh?
They
can offer him money. Yeah.
Same as us.
So yeah, in my dream transfer window, we would get all three of them: Rice, Casado, and Madison. All three of them. I mean, if we really want to be ruthless, I think Arteta has proved himself that he's a good manager, and players won't make a mistake to come. Yeah, you want to play at Arsenal, but also play for him. Look, a manager plays a big role, right? I mean, people's not going to care that it's Man City, but they're going to care more that it's Pep Guardiola. I'll go play for Pep Guardiola, no problem. He's going to make me a better player.
Sure.
And Arteta's proven that he can do that to players. I mean, look what he's done to Xhaka. I mean, we said earlier, Xhaka was he was dead in the water when it came to Arsenal. All of us wanted him out, and I think Arteta's a lot to do about that whole turnaround and how we've changed towards him, and vice versa. And but I think you on the money with midfielders. I think that's the names going around, and we're all hoping that at least one of those signings come to us.
At least one, and I think we've all like. I think we gain. I think he has gained trust from us. Whoever he buys in, we know. Okay, they're gonna work. More than likely, there's a good chance they're gonna work. So I think he's gonna get one from curveballs coming soon.
So the striking issue, and I think this is where our biggest problem is. Yes, our midfielders are scoring, but we need that 20-plus striker. And this is where I agree with Neil. So come, now you got to throw names. We know, look, Eden Nketiah is not a 25-plus striker. Neither is Jesus. So who out there is that 25-plus striker?
If you ask Warren, and I agree with him, Harry
No,
Kane.
I'm with Warren here. I'm with Warren. Yep.
Bring in him. I agree completely, but he's more than likely not. I think, and again, this is something else Gavin and I were talking about. Do we really need a 25-goal striker? Because we had 4 players all over 15 goals. We scored 88 goals.
So just now. So let me see if I can play a bit of devil's advocate. Yes, we had a lot of midfielders 15-plus goals, and that's what you expect from your midfielders, right? They have to get double digits. Just think about it. And Harry Kane this season alone has scored in 26 different league games. I mean, never mind scoring a goal a game. That's all good and well. But if you're scoring 10 goals in one game, that doesn't count. But if you're scoring a goal at least, I mean, in 90% of the games, and that's the type of striker we need.
It's Harry Kane, eh?
Yeah. How many of those goals are penalties?
I don't know.
It doesn't work.
I don't know.
He's never going to miss on the spot, but yes. But
still.
The thing is, and one thing about Harry Kane, I mean, he's not a Haaland that would stay up and just he would go back and he would defend and he would go fetch the ball and he leads on the pitch in a big way. I mean, he does. I mean, it's all very well saying that we have enough midfielders that we don't really need an out-and-out striker, but so does Man City. You know, they've got enough players in their team that can all score. But the fact that you've got Haaland that can just, completely demolish a team at the same time and score on top of that is what makes their team complete. And I think that it will change the way that Arsenal plays, though. Hey? I mean, you saw when Haaland came into City, they had to restructure the way that they played, to be playing those long balls up and those big through balls. And if it wasn't for De Bruyne, who was feeding him, the perfect passes all the time.
De Bruyne was key. Only he could do all those passes to him.
100%. So I don't know. I mean,
just to answer you guys on the Harry Kane thing, he scored 30 league goals all season. Only 5 of them were penalties.
Oh shit!
Okay.
You think it was more than that? I
thought it was more.
Yeah.
I thought it was only more. Yeah.
It's only 5 penalties scored. Obviously,
probably
no
VAR stopped a lot of those penalties. I think.
Yeah. No misses.
And Nielsen, what about? I mean, do if we have a striker that we don't use? Reece Nielsen.
I think you know what I said it last week, and I think Reece Nelson, Emil Smith Rowe, Eden Nketiah. Eden
Nketiah as well. Yeah,
I don't see them. I don't see them in the.
No, they're not going to give you your double figure. Yeah.
No.
But I think the thing with Eddie just signed that contract. So I don't know.
For some other reason, Arteta likes it in Nketiah. I just don't see it.
His energy, maybe.
I just don't see it. And look,
because we got Balogun.
He did what he needed to do when Jesus wasn't there. Let's not forget that. You know, that was also a crippling thing about last season. There was the fact that we had our star striker out for 4 months, 3-4 months.
But it wasn't
And
so
the fact that we
crippling,
even
was
got him back to be playing was phenomenal. But in that time, Nketiah did the job. I mean, he's one of those goal poachers. You know, he sniffs out the goal. He's always in the right place. It's hard for defenders to play against him because he's always sniffing around looking for an opportunity. He's an opportunist goal scorer. But I don't know if he's going to be a permanent fixture. You know, that's the thing. But he is an impact player that one can bring on. To
Reece Nielsen.
Yeah.
Are we saying Nelson?
Nelson. Yeah.
Nielsen.
It's pretty much the same boat. Yeah. But then he's also on a contract situation now. He may not sign, or he rejected the first contract. Yeah. So I think he may not.
I think he's not going to be there. He wants to play regularly. He's not going to get regular in this team. I mean, he basically plays in Gabriel Martinelli's position, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got Trossard as well. I think the two of them are way ahead of Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
100%.
And then Saka. And there's Saka on the other side. But then you got Marquinhos boy. You need somebody there, but you've got there's that Marquinhos boy. I don't know how he's doing on loan, but I know I've watched a few under 23 games with him in it, and he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think the loan. I hope the loan does what Saliba's loan done to him, where Marquinhos comes back and is just on fire.
You need someone to push Saka to be even better as well. Can't rely on that. That we knew the wage is getting. He needs a bit of
game in the game out.
So
he was tired.
Okay, so other than Harry Kane, let's say we don't want to go to Spurs and take their striker. Who else is there? I mean,
if you're willing to wait till Jan, I think Ivan Toney will be a good one.
Yeah, but he can only come in January. By then the season could be over.
I don't think it's that bad. If we can hang in there. But yeah, I think unfortunately he's not available.
Yeah, he's only back the 17th of January next year.
Yeah.
So I don't even think he's an option. And he is the third top goal scorer, right? So you've got
something like
that I don't know what you call
the robot.
The robot, yeah. I think I think he's playing FIFA or something like that. So got him. And here's it. He scored 36 league goals. Harry Kane on 30. Then Ivan Toney comes to 20. And you also got to remember, Harry Kane is in a crap Spurs team.
Yes. He's creating most of those things himself.
Exactly. Imagine if he was getting the service, from the likes of Odegaard and Declan Rice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We'd be in a different place.
I think
wouldn't be too opposed for it as much,
I think
it will hurt Spurs so much. It will hurt Spurs so much, and I'd be just so happy.
This part of the video, I'm going to clip it out, and then Warren might just send it to Arsenal and tell them,
I think he's probably those voodoo dolls. I think he created one for Levy for stopping the Man City move. Because just imagine him in the City team. Oh my gosh.
He would have been. But he would have been must. But not a Haaland. Haaland's just something else,
Yeah. But yeah,
it really is.
Maybe stays because I don't know.
Because what good reason is there to stay at Tottenham? Come on, there's no good reason for him to stay there.
No one's
other than he's going to go there and end his. He either moves now or he never ever leaves Tottenham. And
if he doesn't make the move now,
he needs to play Champions League. Come on, man.
He's got 1 year left, and he's going to have a proper price tag on.
Yeah.
So he's 29 years old. He's 29 years old.
He's on the brink. He's on the brink of scoring more goals than any other Premier League footballer ever. So he's not going to want to leave the Premier League, I think. You know what I mean? So to go to the likes of Inter or La Liga or one of those teams.
Do you think Liverpool would go buy him or Newcastle?
Maybe Newcastle. I think Liverpool got too many forwards already.
Yeah, but remember, Firmino's gone, eh?
But they got a million of those forwards. They got more forwards than defenders.
He was a sub anyway. Come on, Nassim.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's not going to go there. And the current crop of forwards they have, they're not going to sit on the bench. I don't think it's going to. It's more likely if it
Yeah.
was Newcastle or
Newcastle.
United, maybe.
So if it goes
or
Newcastle,
United.
is Callum Wilson and that Isaac guy.
Isak, yeah. He's
Isak.
another
Ooh,
monster
so-
is coming. He's another monster coming.
Yeah,
I swear.
so
He
maybe.
looks another.
So
It's
if
United,
you
Man
really
United.
look at it, between the big clubs, and I'm talking about the big six, Arsenal is probably Harry Kane's best place to come to. Because everybody's is definitely not. City is not an option, right? We just said Liverpool's not an option. Newcastle's not an option because they've got their strikers. They just bought they've Callum Wilson and the Isak guy. So Isak is not going to be second fiddle to Harry Kane. That's going to upset him. Where else can he go to? Chelsea? Would he go there?
No, it's got to be Champions League. Come on.
If he goes, he'd rather stay at Spurs. If he'd rather stay at Spurs, then
you'd rather stay at Spurs.
So his choices on Newcastle, us, or Manchester United.
That's
you want to go to United?
Probably. That's where
probably.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I think the fans. You know what? He doesn't. I think you're right, Dijin, because the fans are going to hate him if he comes to Arsenal.
I think and I'm not sure how
they're going to hate him.
Wait.
Wait.
I knew somebody was going to say that. And I was waiting for somebody to say that. Do you think Sol Campbell cares now that the Spurs fans hated him?
No. I don't think he did, but I think he's worried about safety concerns. I swear, there's so much of nonsense happening in the world right now. I think I would, if I was in his shoes, I would be worried about that. I would be. Wife, kids.
Okay. Oh well. So
I took it to another level there.
Then you've got to give me another. What about that Vlahovic guy?
Nah, he hasn't kicked it.
Who?
Vlahovic.
We were after him 2 seasons ago, something like that.
I think he went to Juventus.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing well either.
So I've got no other names. I don't know who else. What other strikers out there that?
Come on, maybe some of them are there anyone out there to suggest what we haven't suggested?
I don't know. Guys in the chat, what strikers out there do we need to sign? I mean, I can't think of any names. I mean,
if you look at the Premier League, who's there? The Villa,
there's nobody in the Premier League.
Ollie Watkins or something? Maybe he's probably not.
Ollie Watkins. I mean, if I look at the top 10, right? So Mo Salah, he's never leaving Liverpool. Callum Wilson, I don't think he's going to leave Newcastle. Marcus Rashford, I don't think he's good. Then it's Gabriel Martinelli. Then Ollie Watkins. I mean, Ollie Watkins scored the same amount of goals as Martinelli. And Watkins is a forward. Okay, yes, he's playing for Aston Villa. And then Mitrovic is the other. And Martin Odegaard is there. So, I mean, none of those players are...
my knowledge of Spanish and Italian leagues not the most awesome.
Mine neither.
The only guy I know is that Osman guy, and he's 170 million, so he's not gonna go anywhere.
Isn't Neymar looking to move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
3/4 of the time.
I don't think we can afford his salary.
No, I think the shirt sales will pay for it. But he's going to spend most of the time on he's going to spend most of the time he's got an injury prone. No, injury prone. He's hardly played.
Yeah.
And he's lost it, man. He's going to imagine diving like that in England. It's going to be a joke.
That hurt him in England for sure.
I was never really crazy over Neymar.
No, me neither.
I just didn't see what everybody else saw. Even when he was at Barcelona. At Barcelona, I thought Messi.
You saw
outshone him or something. But even when he went to PSG, I was like, nah, I don't see it. Bit of talent, but not that Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
I don't know. I must say, European luck. I mean, we would never afford it.
Yeah. So I don't know. When it comes to strikers, I just don't. They don't make them like they used to. They don't.
Remember, 20-goal striker is going to cost you over 100 million, and I don't think we got that amount of money available.
The budget's only like 180, and then 300 at a push if we've got to swap players. So we've got to think about where we are with Edu. As already said, okay, it's like 180 to 200, and then we can go to 300 if we can find players to swap. So
I'd rather boost the midfield and defense first, then go to the forward line, because I think
I think you're right. And then we've got goal scorers there. If we have the form that we found with Xhaka, Martinelli, Odegaard, who's coming from the midfield, and we've got these other players that we want to boost the midfield. They're all scorers. So I think we shouldn't be too worried about a striker. It's the defense and the midfield that's most critical for me.
Yeah, I think that backup for Saliba is a big thing, and even backup for Partey, backup for Xhaka. I mean, just some people that can move us forward. Yeah, a replacement for Xhaka. Yeah. And I think
also Tierney. We need a proper. Tierney's good.
Yeah, but if Tierney's going, then Tavares will still come back.
You see, you're playing with us now, but then we don't know. Hey, anyway,
hopefully Arteta and Edu got something up their sleeve to rectify.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we've had, was it last summer? Was it when did we buy? What did we buy last summer? Was Shevchenko and Jesus, right? Jesus. The summer before that, it was the 5-6 players, and look at the beginning. So at the beginning, Tavares and Lukonga looked good when they started, and something happened. I think Tavares was at Liverpool game.
Yeah,
the Liverpool game.
Yeah, all those off passes he was doing. Yeah.
What happened was the level of the team did this.
Yeah,
they did it.
I don't think it was a case of them and the level of the way everyone was playing, everyone up their game, and it surprised. I mean, that was the biggest surprise. Everyone will say to you at the beginning of last season, no one even gave Arsenal a chance for Champions League, and that was the goal. Okay, we're going to try our best to get Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The level of which Arsenal played throughout the season, I think, surprised all pundits, even fans alike, and the unitedness of what happened at the stadiums, and the unitedness of what's happened with the team, and all that kind of stuff it speaks volumes for Arteta. And I think I thought about it earlier on, like who would want to come and play for Arsenal if it was this and was that.
Yep.
You forget how big this club is and where this club is standing at the moment. It's very attractive for any player. If given the option to say, would you consider coming to play for Arsenal? Even the likes of Harry Kane, they're not going to say, no, I don't think so. They'd be more worried about what the fans think rather than it's not a good manager, or it's not a good place to be, or it's not a good environment, because everything is right and clicking. Everyone's talking about it the same way. There's an energy there that's very, very healthy. And you hear this from Ian Wright, you hear this from everyone,
So it's Dortmund striker.
Who's that?
Sebastian Haller. He
fought
cancer and stuff. He's a hero, this guy. He fought cancer and stuff. He's playing now. He's a Dortmund striker.
Oh.
But he just joined them, so he's not going to leave.
He just joined. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Gavin, I completely what you're saying.
Like, and you know what? I think Arsenal, us as Arsenal fans looking from the inside out, we don't realize how big Arsenal is. I mean, you really need to take a step back and look at the fan base size to see how big Arsenal is. Arsenal is a massive club. Massive. And just any player that wants to come to Arsenal should feel privileged because it's that big of a club. It's crazy big. I mean, I saw, I don't know, I think it was Sports Talk over in the UK. This one guy was making fun of Arsenal. Arsenal's got the most people that has channels like these where we discuss Arsenal, and I was just thinking in the back of my mind, hey, you idiot, that just
Yeah.
shows you how big Arsenal is, because all these people has thousands of people watching their shows. Just shows you how big Arsenal's fan base is and how big of a club Arsenal is. Irrespective, Man City won 6 league titles now in the last whatever amount of years. They still doesn't equate to how big our club is. Yes, they could possibly be the best team right now, but best doesn't mean biggest. And obviously there's history behind what Arsenal as a club is. And
And
yeah,
just look at, I was looking at the montage on the stadium, and you're gonna see Arsenal Kuwait, Arsenal Thailand, Arsenal this country, Arsenal Cape Town, Arsenal Joe. I mean, you're right.
massive.
We're all over the place. Eh? So,
I
yeah.
mean, take South Africa. South Africa is a small country in comparison with a lot of others, right? We've got 2 official supporters clubs in the country. One Arsenal Cape Town and one up in Joburg. So I mean that should say a lot that a small
Say a
country
lot.
like us, yeah. And that's just it. I'm still
quite a lot of fundamental things. Talking of the fans have happened this year, and one is is the anthem. That what's happening in the stadium,
cool.
and in North London forever. The other is the rebranding of the whole stadium. I mean, their artwork and those is just incredible. And then you've got what's the name of that army that's behind the fence?
The way the black t-shirts, the proper ultras. I love them.
The ultras, yeah. I mean, like those are fundamental shifts
you need
that have happened, that have changed and united from a fan perspective. So going to the Emirates now is like they've turned it into a fortress. It's really very difficult to go there, and the atmosphere is incredible, and the players feed off that, and then it just seems that it's going right through all the staff to everyone.
I mean,
the Ashburton Army. Sorry, that was what I was trying to think.
Yeah, those guys. But even us watching it from here, you can feel it. I mean, through the TV, you can that stadium atmosphere. You can feel it, which is weird. And I mean, the last time I felt that connection with Arsenal was Packet Highbury.
Yeah, myself.
You never felt part of the club up until now. Since then. And yeah, we've got to take up.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get to now more than ever. Do I want to go to the Emirates after this last season? Not that I've always wanted to anyway, and always I have been, and it's been a while now. But I think that those are the kind of things that are making a big difference.
That Ashburton Army, I think whoever approved that and whoever's idea what that was should be given a bonus. I think that was one of the top 5 things that happened this season.
Imagine being there with that crowd singing that anthem.
I mean,
But the other thing that's good about that, right, is there are millions of Arsenal fans, and I'm one of them at the moment that has probably never going to see the Emirates, never going to be able to go there. So to be able to make us that's watching it on the television feel that atmosphere, that's incredible. I mean, that is
for sure.
It's well done, because look, not everybody is going to be that lucky. Look, there's only 60,000 tickets per game. And at the moment, getting a ticket is hard, apparently. So yeah,
it really is. Just what is the situation there with our supporters club? I mean, are there preferences if we give I mean, in the past we've had opportunities where if you give at least 3 months notice or 6 weeks notice.
Yeah. So there are preferences given to us, but you have to go through Warden for that. So if you are planning on going, just go through Warden. There are some criteria. So not any Tom, Dick, and Harry will be able to go through Warden. Warden is going to chase you away. So you have to have been part of the supporters club for a while.
Okay.
he should have seen your face at the pub, and you should have shown interest, or been on the stream, so that your name is not foreign. So it's not John Doe that we've never ever heard of before, just all of a sudden comes to Warren and, hey, I want a ticket, and Warren's just going to chase him away. So way back we used to have the membership and all that, but the admin for that was just too much. So now it's just come to Warren. If he knows you, seen your name around, then he'll help you out. But it is hard. So we do get first preference on tickets, but there's obviously a limited number because there's thousands of supporters clubs out there.
Sure. And would they be at face value? I should be asking these questions to Warren.
Yes. So it's not like the supporters club puts whatever the cost is. That's the cost. It's not really. Yeah, it will be face value. So we don't put anything on top of that. I think that the rules of it is on the website. I can't remember the rules, but there is. If you just check the website, arsenalcapetown.co.za, there is a section about getting tickets. There's a big match day ticket thing on the top, and there's a policy to it. So you must be an Arsenal supporter. You must be registered on our database. So you'll have to email Warren for that. You must have registered on the website. So that's about it.
I guess
criteria.
That's good that there is that sort of criteria. So when is the next game? The 19th of July.
Oh, next game.
It's an American friendly.
Preseason stuff.
That
MSL something.
Who goes, man? I don't really read too much into that stuff. Those friendlies. I seldom follow them.
But after a month of not watching any Arsenal, like you're just like waiting for something.
All good and well.
The 19th of July. I mean, what are we going to do on weekends? Flipping out. But I mean, those American tours are decent. I mean, Man United's going, and I think Barcelona is as well.
Yeah, my heart needs to recuperate after the season. There were a couple of. There were a good few moments.
Heartbreaks.
There was a good heartbreaks, stress, shouting, screaming, crying, swearing.
The good thing at the pub, no one wastes the alcohol. No one spills alcohol.
Okay, let's just. What is this comment from Ronnie? Let's not kid ourselves. Arsenal do not have the big man. They don't. They bottled the season. They're not ready. It's all good and well, but you need to perform with attitude. Yes, and I think with them, I think this was a big learning curve for them on how they threw the season away. I mean, we were talking about it backstage, right? We were 5 points behind City. We lost to Forest, and
Brighton.
We shouldn't have lost that game. And we lost to Brighton. We shouldn't have lost that game. We lost to Everton. We shouldn't have lost that game. Those three draws.
Draw to Southampton's unforgivable. I mean, that's the thing.
Draw to Southampton.
That was after losing.
It was just pressure, man. It was just pressure and inexperience. So I believe it. What Ronnie says is absolutely right. How do you overcome that? What was it?
So that's where Arteta has to earn his money, eh? He needs to get their mindset right. We now know they have the talent. They've got the talent to take on Manchester City. They've got the talent. Even although Manchester City has that robot in front there, they still have, maybe not going toe to toe with them, but taking them on across the season. The talent is there. It's just about the mental strength now and going into these games that you expect it to win, and you have to go win them. You can't bottle it.
Yeah, and remember that when we were 8 points clear, the 2 games in hand, it was like basically the two games was both Man City games.
Yeah.
And then that would have been 6 points. And then the 2 points was the game in hand of Man City. Always had a game in hand on us.
Yeah.
So we don't really have to beat Man City at all.
Yeah, we didn't have to. So even
proper.
I mean, from when we had 10 games left, right? I was starting doing calculations. I was thinking, I was like, we can afford to lose to Man City. And I wrote that game off.
Twice.
We're losing to Man City in the story. I didn't
Mm.
see us winning them. And then it was just do whatever Man City does. They win, you win. They win, you win. Just keep doing what they're doing, and you
Mm.
will win the league. And
Mm.
those three draws, that I think that was really the nail in the coffin.
And wasn't even losses; it was draws.
Yeah, it was draws.
Freaking
Mm.
draws. Not even
Draws.
losses.
What?
And no, worse, we were 2-0 up
We were
2
2-0
in
games.
up.
both games. We
Yep.
were 2-0 up within the first 20 minutes.
Yep.
You know,
So if
so
you
we
win
just
those
had
two
to then
games,
control the game.
if
You
you
know?
win those two games and even draw against that third against
Yeah.
Southampton, you'll be fine anyway.
Well,
And the thing is,
towards the
it
end,
happened. It happened yesterday. So sorry, Gavin. It happened yesterday also. There was a moment that we went 2-0 up very quickly. I mean, it was within the space of 3 minutes, and I almost felt like, hey, just don't take your foot off the gas. Just go clobber them
Mm.
10-0 if it's going to be that. If they're playing crap,
Mm.
don't stop scoring goals. Go at 100 kilometers all the time until there's no hope for them to come back. And I think that is the problem. It's like you get to the comfortable lead, this game is going easy, and you just start slacking off. You
Mm.
don't see Man City slacking off. They
never.
once
Well,
they got you at the
they
throat.
they
Because
very
once you
good
get
at
three,
very.
you're pretty
Mm.
comfortable of,
Yeah.
and then they are panicking. Your opposition's
Yeah.
panicking. But in
Yep.
2-0 down, the opposition's still not convinced they can't win. You know, it's all to do with the mindset. I mean, I don't know whether you guys discussed it. I wasn't on the show after the Brighton game. You know, I think just before the Brighton game, they got the result where City had demolished. I forget who it was.
Wasn't
But and you could see it on their faces when they walked out in the tunnel.
Yeah.
You could see that, like
Gone.
City were just, you know what I mean? There was always as if they'd lost the game right there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what was in their heads, but you never got the sense that they were walking out saying, "This is
We're gonna
ours."
win.
They were walking out like already defeated because City's just never going to stop. You know?
And you know what I would have done as manager that day, because their game ended like half an hour before ours started, right? Is that the minute City game started is give me all your cell phones, put them away, do not touch your cell phone, because they should have been at the stadium already then, right? 2 hours
Yep.
before the
Yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
like you just isolate them from the rest of the world for that 2 hours until they go on the pitch, and all staff, backroom staff, nothing. You don't want to have no social media, nothing. You don't want to know what's happening on the outside world, and just confined the team just to what they need to do against Brighton that day. And I think they obviously heard the score, and it's like, City won again. There's no hope for us.
Now
It's
there's more
pointless.
pressure.
Yeah.
So the pressure just became, and then it was just like,
Yep.
you know,
It's like
these guys are
Just-
What's the
unstoppable.
point? What's the
Yeah,
point?
that's
What's
the
the point?
exactly.
And then they got hammered 3-0
Yep.
by a team they got given 5-0 by Everton the week before.
No, a few days before that.
For a few days,
Yes.
like 2-3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
we-
couple
we-
days before. Yeah, so like Everton should have beaten us 8-0, given that
Yeah.
that scenario.
I think where Arteta needs to actually learn to is be a bit more pragmatic.
Yeah.
If like
Yeah.
when you see City, they I think in themselves they know, okay, we're not going to score 3 goals today. Let's just score one, make the game as boring as you can by just passing,
Yeah.
passing, and then you get a
Yeah.
late 2-0, and then okay, cool. I think that's where we need to actually pick up the game as well.
Agreed.
Well, guys, I think it was an awesome season. I mean, if in hindsight, if I really try to take my mind back to day one of the season, I think we were hoping for top four, and
We're
we
hoping to
got it
beat
quite
Palace.
easily. Yeah, we were hoping to
Yeah.
beat Palace.
Friday
Yeah, I
night.
think even
We all
that
thought we were
first
gonna
game was
lose. I
like,
thought we were gonna
ooh,
lose.
yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
we were going to lose that game,
Yep.
considering last season or the previous season.
yes.
No, listen, it's
It's been a
But,
great season. In hindsight, it's been a good season. Our expectations changed as the season went on, and I think rightfully so. I think with 10 games left, 8-point lead, you'd want to
You
believe
dream
that
of it.
we'd do it.
Dream
Yep.
of it.
Yeah.
It was ours to lose, and we did.
Yeah.
in the
It was
game,
at the end
you
of the
know.
day. Yeah. It was us to
But
lose
yeah,
of the
I think it was a fantastic season. Actually, I haven't been gone through this many highs and lows in a
yeah.
season for a long time.
But
And
if you look at it,
and
there were more highs. There were more highs
Yeah,
than
more
lows.
highs.
I mean,
definitely, oh yeah.
we got the biggest low of bottling the league, yeah. But in
Mm.
hindsight, there were a lot of more highs than lows. I mean, there's a lot of more
And
positives.
the unexpected ones, like that, the 97th goal against Bournemouth,
Yeah.
where we celebrated like we won the cup final.
I don't remember that ever happening ever
Yeah.
for an
No.
Arsenal team. I don't remember that happening ever, unless I could be mistaken. But I don't remember being that.
We were 2-0 down.
Forget
We got 3 goals in literally just before the
winning
end of
game like
time
that.
and in injury time.
In Fergie time.
And those are the kind of memorable moments that you think, sure, like this is why I love this club. And just to see the ecstatic reaction from the crowds and the new songs and, has anyone heard? I saw something on social media today that PSG are sniffing around Odegaard. I hope they show them that. Because, come on, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think he's a money kind
No,
of guy. He's already rich. He doesn't seem
he's
like
here
that.
he's here for the long haul, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Arteta leaves, then he goes.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. People want to play for a good manager. Eh?
Yep.
You never know.
Yeah.
Players, you never know.
Yeah. But then also, I mean, it also comes down to the right manager. I mean, look at Chelsea. Look at United. They had all these managers, and they haven't found the right one. Spurs. I mean, the only real the teams that probably got the right managers for them is probably Liverpool and City, and that's about it. And us, of course. So
long term sort of manager.
Yep.
You just got to give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
Imagine how what's his name, Mudrik's feeling after going to Chelsea when he could have been at Arsenal.
I don't think
there's our
it's
striker.
I think that was Shakhtar accepting the higher bid. That wasn't. I think
he would rather have been with us. Then we wouldn't be talking about who we're going to use. I promise you, Arteta would have turned him around.
Yeah. I think it's
Poor guy.
yeah. I think that was the club. That wasn't him or his agent or whatever.
And he's been useless. He's been pathetic.
He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. And he's there for 8 years. He's an 8-year deal. I don't know who does that. I mean, there's normally 5 years are normally massive, eh? But 8 years is a long time.
Maybe he's donating some of that money to the Ukrainian war or something. Yeah. Maybe you never know.
And Aubameyang, is he going to go and play in Dubai? What else is he going to do?
Always like that striker.
We were speaking about Xhaka and red cards. We did not get a red card all season. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true.
What? Really?
Never got a red card.
Yeah.
That's like,
what, Gabriel? That was all last season, hey?
Yeah,
remember last season how many red cards we got? It was like they were dishing them out.
Yeah.
That's actually that's
look,
nice.
Xhaka had we also said Xhaka probably had his best season for us, Remo.
It would be nice seeing him playing in the Champions League for us.
Yeah, it would be nice, but I also think we also agree that I think it is time for him to go.
Yeah.
Take on a new challenge. Yeah.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Not getting a red card. I mean, Patrick Vieira back in the day would say to you, you got to do what you got to do.
So the other thing is, I think it's good because we did show aggression.
No, of course it is.
It did show. We showed a lot of aggression when we needed to, especially the likes of Gabriel. Even Odegaard showed some aggression in some of his tackles, especially in the beginning of the season, when our press was a press, not a half press that it is at the moment. But
the best fight I've seen was the Newcastle away win.
Oh yeah,
that's when you could see like it was a proper, well, not fight, but you know what I mean.
But getting really stuck in, yeah.
stuck in proper with no yellow cards was actually quite shocking.
Yeah.
But no one got sent off that game. That's a bit of a shock.
Look,
Anyway, guys.
it's debilitating to have a red. What you do to your teammates. I think it's hard.
Okay.
At this level, to lose a player, you literally written the game off.
Yeah.
Cool. So, guys, I think we've come to the end of the show. I think we've been going on for almost an hour. I think we make a mistake letting Xhaka go. Unpopular opinion. I don't think it's a mistake. I just think that it's the
right time.
Yeah, it's just it's sad to see him go, but it's also right time. It's the right time. I wouldn't want. I'm not saying go. It's like
I think
time.
it's the last thing about Xhaka. I think they want to find a midfielder who can play in Xhaka's role, but actually hit the ball or knock the ball past the defender and run past him. I don't think Xhaka can do that now.
Yeah,
he's a bit slow.
Okay, guys, don't forget to check out the website. There's a lot of stuff Arsenal happening there, and also the predictor game that will kick off next season again. And the predictor game leaderboard looks as follows: Bevan does a Man City and wins the league for the second time running. Well done, Bevan. So yeah, he says he doesn't understand how he got the scores right, but yeah, I just think he's talking crap. But anyway, well done, Bevan. And there's a couple of people there. Warren down in 23rd place, and the graphics team down in 13. Alex, and Neil, you're not doing too bad. I'm also up there. I think what helped me was the Forest one. So on the show, I predicted we're going to lose to Forest 1-0, and I actually went to go put it in as my score, and it was meant to be a joke. I didn't mean Arsenal must take it seriously. But anyway, well done, Bevan.
Your fault. Seriously, Nazim, it's your fault.
And yeah. Once again, don't forget to check out Ronnie's podcast. Comes out every Friday, and then he has some YouTube shows on a Monday. So just have a look at our Facebook page. So Remo, we kind of the reminder is this show, so we remind you at the end of each show. Also, the predictor score, you can actually fill your scores for the season one time, so that in case you forget, change your score, so you don't have to wait for the game. So once the fixtures come out, and they normally come out end of July, right, beginning of August. So once the fixtures come out, I normally put them in the predictor game, so you can just go fill in your scores one time, and you don't have to remind yourself every week. Bevan, I don't know what's Bevan's source saying. He won last year. I should have actually saved his score. I can't remember what he got last year, but he kind of ran away with it last year.
Statistician.
Cool. Yeah. Gavin, Jitin, thanks for joining me for the last show of the season. It's been great having you guys. It was nice having a chat, and yeah. And we look forward to the summer now. I don't know if we're going to do.
No, we got winter, but we got
winter. We got winter. Yeah.
Okay, we will let this.
It might be about as a suggestion
because of them. Yeah. Go for it, Gavin.
Just when is the next show? I think we should have like a transfer window show. The end of January.
We won't do it weekly.
No, not weekly.
Yeah. Maybe when one of the preseason games kick off. Maybe after one of the preseason games. So we've got a game to talk about. So what did you say? The first game's the 15th of July, right?
19th of July.
19th of July. Then that's a Wednesday. So then maybe the following Monday, which would be the 24th of July, that'll probably be our next show. When does the transfer window open?
I'm not sure.
I think
it's opening soon, in a day or two, actually.
No, I think in July.
Oh no, it opens on the 14th of June. Okay,
Oh shit.
14th
Okay,
of
cool.
June. Yeah, that's like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So hopefully by then some of our business would have been done. We would see a couple of new faces.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Hopefully we see
Maybe
Maybe
Rice.
just a good get together just to see where we are and
And
you know,
see,
talk about what's happening with the transfers, who's been signed, who hasn't,
Mhm.
and again, you know,
Yep.
talk about
Yeah,
the
so-
American tour and what.
Yeah, so I think for the next 2 weeks things are going to be dead, right? Because nothing can happen in the transfer windows. Everything is just going to be speculation. So I think maybe after our first friendly in America, we can then have a show straight after that. Cool.
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 So, are you saying you'd like to join that show as well, Gavin?
No, I'm just. I would like to watch it if I'm not joining it, but
Okay.
I'd be happy to be on it. All
Cool.
right.
Anyway, guys, thanks for the comments, Remo, Kyle, and a couple others. There was a couple of people. Gavin, Jitin, thanks for joining me, and
Thanks,
we'll see you
Azim.
in the
Thanks
new
for having
season.
us.
Thanks for the invite.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
And,